Ed, banner comments. There we go. We're good. All right. Woo-hoo-hoo. So here we go. It is now Thursday. And then we got a guest tomorrow. You're going to love this guy. I tell you, he is one of those folks that I've been talking about, the ones that you meet when you're out there and you're doing all kinds of crazy different things. There we go. I knew I forgot the glasses. You're out there doing all kinds of things, because you're going to meet the people that are doing, you're going to meet the people that are making things happen. You're going to meet the people that are moving forward, regardless of whatever that situation is. And this guy just happens to be one of them. He just said, well, if I could do this, why not that? If this opportunity comes up, why don't we explore it and see if we can push it a little bit more? It is. It just is. Even building a birdhouse. It was a story that went along with building a birdhouse. Got Great Danes, man. So he needed quite the birdhouse. Something that really, really, yeah, could withstand the test of time or the test of Great Danes. Big dogs, very big dogs. You're gonna find out about that. This whole thing, everything across the board has to do with not what we're doing today, not the stuff that we're stuck in. So what are we going to do with it? Where are we going to go with it? What are we going to happen? What's going to happen with it? Took out a lot of things. All right, so here's the scoop. Got a blank slate. Yeah, I got that black cardboard thing over there. That's it. It's right in the corner. That thing down there. Right. So what I've been meaning to do on that, which we will do on that, is put together a drag strip. Yeah, that racetrack, not street, folks. Put it together. I know it's just two lines. You just go straight. Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely. I've now picked up on a couple of different things over the past couple of months by attending car shows about the whole idea and how technical this whole thing is. It's just amazing. Amazing. And we'll share some of that. We'll share some of that today, maybe. Maybe share a little bit of it tomorrow, but not really. I don't think tomorrow's that's really it. Talking you'll see tomorrow, and then Saturday we definitely will. Going to go from 4 to 9:30 is when the hot track is. When the racing actually takes place. That's 4 to 9:30. Do the math. It's 5.5 hours of chatting time, and then we do it again on Sunday. Sunday is going to be a daytime event. All right, so Saturday the gates open up at 1 o'clock, and then the racing starts at 4. Why 3 hours? Because all those cars that come through that are interested in racing, and it is sold out at this point in time. You should know that the racing is sold out. Spectators, as far as I know, there's still seats available or tickets available. If you want to make sure, get them online. Go to Racetrack Not Street. We'll put the link up over here. Go to Racetrack Not Street. Doug, good afternoon to you, my friend. And then, in fact, I'll do that right now. But we'll get that. This is where you get your tickets. Tickets are $25. Gives you full access to absolutely everything. It's $25. Food trucks, restroom facilities. They have, the porta potties. Remember, nothing at this track is permanent. Most fascinating part about this thing too. Nothing's permanent. So anyhow, you have the food trucks are there. I'm going to say 6 or 7 food trucks. Everything from good old American barbecue to 50 Shades of Soul. I spoke to the owner of that truck. He's like, he couldn't wait for the summer season. And I'm like, because more, the people, it goes, the weather, it goes, no, no, no. I'm going to bring so much different food. You're going to love it. So definitely excited about that. Food there was unique. Uh, Barbecue, 50 Shades of Soul, Heinz Food Truck, Hines. This is the one that is operated by the some of the administrators. I'll play that video too. The administrators at the Riverhead High School who are using the students as employees. This is where they get to learn what it's like to operate a food truck. Come on. I keep talking about the vocational opportunities that are over here. Yeah, yeah, I know. I've been talking about the cars and the cars. Well, if you build a car, you learn about welding also. What about the food truck? Food operations, management of inventory. Oh, I got to tell you, and I give so much credit to you folks that operate restaurants. So much credit. So hard. COVID, the rest of that stuff, so hard. But buying the right amount of food, having the right amount of food on hand, I got a peek into that world a little bit. Friend of mine started a restaurant, and it was, interesting because you had to cook it because it wasn't a restaurant where it was cooked to order. He prepared a lot of stuff in advance, as many restaurants do. A lot of it has to be prepared in advance, to some extent at least, which means once it's defrosted, you only have a certain amount of time. And if it's a really nice restaurant, nothing's frozen anyhow. So, yeah. But managing inventory, what it comes down to is managing inventory. You get the PMP people, the project management professionals. Managing inventory in a food truck also means managing space in a food truck, right? And then how do you price that out? What should the cost of a hamburger be if it's coming from a food truck? And then also it's the graphics that go along with the truck. So many aspects of it. So many aspects of it. You know, plus the cleanliness and all the rest of that goes on. So you get that. You've got let's see, Bubbles and Bowls, I think is gonna be there. There's another one, the ice cream truck is gonna be there and a few others too. These students are learning so much. If the Heinz is one that's focused on the students, I can tell you the 50 Shades group, there's a whole family down there. It's a weekend event too, so it's great, right? There's a whole family down there. Oh, the kids were making sure everything's clean, the napkins, making sure that's right. And some of those dishes you needed napkins. Good thing it was outside, right? One of the sandwiches I got just does not work if you're sitting down eating it. Eat stand up food, which is great for the track, the rest of that stuff. So anyhow, you got a whole bunch of things to learn from. But who else is excited about this? Well, obviously I am, without a doubt. It's just giving me a chance for me to learn a whole lot of things too. Been asked to be doing the PR for it, right? Great. Okay, that's good. You get to chat, contact the media. A little bit more of a challenge as that goes, but been working on that one too. Uh, Wrote a press release, kind of was part of writing a press release. My very dear friend who's been helping me out with so many things, Arthur Jermaine, with brand telling. He's just been like really, really terrific in this whole learning experience. A few others too. I spoke to Bill Corbett, Jess Toddfeld, about the PR, how that works. These are two professionals in that area, getting the media's attention. Great. John Richardson with the video all the time, just absolutely all the time. My friend Tim Healy, just as a sounding board on so much. I just should never use that word just as a unbelievable resource sounding board on so many of these things that I'm doing. Yeah, just great. So many others. Doug, you, uh, totally supportive of the whole thing. My wife too, Mike, every John inside of the Long Island needs a trip too, and of course Pete Scalza. You know they just allow me to learn along the way as that goes. Which brings us even back to TV broadcasting. Jay Oliver's been so kind in the whole thing. I believe we're going to be having the Oceanside High School. It's another one. It'll totally open the doors to me to learn what the STEM students are doing, and when it comes to building a car, building a boat, what they're learning, just absolutely terrific. And even the flip side of that, Maria Fries, Love Fest. I mean, I feel like I'm accepting an award, thanking all those people, but it's not. Maria Fries, last one in that one. Oh, and then there was the East West Industries. I spoke to them to get some further clarification on a few things. It's a group effort, definitely a group effort. Plus, of course, racing, but everything that's just a group effort. That's why this whole thing, everything that you do, whatever you're involved with, whatever it is that you're involved with, all those people surrounding you that are helping you, well, my guess is they're also helping others. And those people that they're helping, sometimes we see them, sometimes we don't. We don't know. We just don't know. I mean, those people in the stands, I have no idea. No idea whatever impact they have with meeting the drivers, with meeting some of the crew people, the staff members that are helping out. No idea, right? I didn't speak to anybody at the hotels, the restaurants, the delis, the gas stations in the surrounding area of Riverhead, Calverton, Wading River, et cetera, et cetera. That saw a benefit from this whole thing. No idea. No idea. Do you even know? Do you know the different people that you impact along the way? Some, yes. Most, probably not. But you do. You definitely do. That's why you need to speak well, speak often, live inspired. People do see it. Sometimes it's a live presentation that you're delivering. Sometimes it's a recorded or a video program you're doing, social media post, sharing somebody else's story, whatever it might be. It's all important there. All right, so let's see what we can do over here. Let's play a video. Today we're gonna play a video. Today's video is gonna be the Riverhead Supervisor. We're gonna play that one for you. Let's make that full screen, and then let's exit full screen. Exit full screen. Oh, I'm gonna flip that on there in a second. Let's go StreamYard, share screen, Chrome tab, video, YouTube, and now let's make that video bigger. There we go. No, we don't want to lose anything from the supervisor here. All right, let's go back StreamYard. And we're going to share the supervisor and Steve Ballone. That's a Riverhead supervisor. And Steve Ballone made some opening comments last year. And you get a chance to listen to them. Here we go.
Years ago, I approached John Canzali at one of his tents, stating Long Island needs a drag strip. I was running for office, and I said to him, I believe in drag racing. And he looked at me and he said, been there, done that. Every supervisor, every politician has come here. And I walked away with my husband and said, that's really rude. I'm going to prove him wrong. As soon as I took office, 3 months later, the governor closed the town. Pete Scalzo comes and sees me. And I said, okay, the governor closed, but don't say anything. I'll give you 15 minutes. You have to have a mask. I'll let you talk to me. We spoke. He came back later, about 5-6 months later. And guess what? We're in year 2, and we're going to continue this. I know you all want to get going, so I won't be going to hand the mic over to our county executive, who's also a big believer. Unfortunately, Congressman Selden, who was here last year, is at reserve training. He's not here with us, but we want to thank him. He's also been a huge supporter, and it's great to know that you are 26,000 strong, and we're going to keep going. And congratulations for working on it.
Thank you, Supervisor. Let's hear another great round of applause for Supervisor Aguiar. I'll tell you, when she came into office, I knew she was different right away on a whole host of issues. She wasn't afraid to do things and to get things done. And I've always said this, it matters who's in office. And this is just a small example of that. It takes leadership, it takes guts, it takes courage to do the right thing. This is the right thing. I always said, we need a drag racing strip. I will support any effort to make that happen. Supervisor Aguiar came in. He said, we have your support on this. I said 100%. Absolutely, Suffolk County supports this. This is a great thing. It is great to have drag racing back here in Suffolk County. Yeah. We want to keep it going and get it stronger and stronger each and every year. A great thing to Supervisor Aguiar for her leadership in making this happen. Town board and Pete Scalzo. Thanks so much to the entire crew, the entire team. Have a great day out there. Let's keep this going. Thank you, guys.
All right, so there's a few things going on in that respect. One, let's get rid of that. I put up the video, the link on there. That's good. Let's get rid of that. That's good. Let's get rid of that. That's good. All right, we're over here. We're back to StreamYard. So this goes into leadership, right? And is everybody there and there for the right reasons? Yeah, I mean, look, that supervisor, Supervisor Vet, she understands that, Riverhead, you got Riverhead Raceway, this Dragway. So there's another sports park out there with the motorcycles, there. we do as a community, as a Long Island, we need a place to play, right? Need a place for all of this stuff to happen. Otherwise, we got to go somewhere else to go and do it. So everybody then will travel off the island, go over the bridges, and go through all the expense, time, energy, to go and do that. Well, why not have something like the back like this, in our backyard? Riverhead Raceway, it's a circle track, not straight. It's a little bit more restraint on the cars. So it's a different environment. It just is a different environment. I actually really, really love the road course racing more than just even the circle track, racing. I went up to Watkins Glen to go watch the races. I had so much more fun doing that than going over to Pocono. So much more fun. Went to Dover too. Dover was nice because you got a chance to see everything, the entire track from your seat. That was just a very comfortable setting, and it was nice. And the cars, there's a strategy that goes along with it. And it's not just driving around in a circle. Absolutely not. And the smaller the track, the tougher it is. And then you go to Riverhead Raceway, you go watch. You see somebody that's starting in mid-pack and they can make their way to the front, man, that is driving skill. You have to have the car, you have to have the setup, you have to have the time to get there, and you have to have the ability to get around cars. And it's not that big of a track, not that wide, very tough to do. Road course, how do you go into a turn? More important, how do you come out of a turn? Well, you're going to go really fast, but how do you do that? It's not a matter of going as fast as you can into the turn and as fast as you can around the turn and then coming out as quick as you can. You can't just barrel into these things. There's a lot of driving skill that goes into the road course stuff. I just love that aspect of it. Love that. I'm going to tell you, this doesn't equate 100% here in any way, shape, or form. But went up to Lime Rock, Connecticut, and Englishtown, New Jersey. Did go-kart racing. Go-karts did about 40 to 45 miles an hour. We did Lime Rock was a circle track, and that was a matter of understanding how fast you can go into a turn, but still the size of the track, size of the carts, speed of the carts. It was a little nuances in there, probably more than I realized because I just didn't know what I didn't know. So I was operating, in a crazy little world on that one. But in Englishtown, it was different. Englishtown was a full road course. It was on the park. It was in the parking lot. I don't know how long it was. It took me, let's say, 2 minutes to get around the track. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't really know. And but coming through these turns, I really got a chance to understand that I didn't know what I was doing because I would go into these like an S, and then after that it was a long straightaway. And I can tell you, man, I got past my car after car after car. Not in the S's, it's a little bit challenging to get around people, but coming out of that last turn, if I didn't go into that turn properly, and I didn't come out of that turn quickly, that's driving skill. So what is it about drag racing? We'll talk a little bit about this, but what is it about drag racing that is actually nuanced? What do? You get in the car, you just smash the pedal down as soon as the light goes green and go? Oh, no. Oh, definitely not. Number one, you have to anticipate when that light is going to go green, because if you wait for it to go green and then you go, your reaction time is like this, where your reaction time should be like this, and every once in a while, someone hits it perfectly. But the only way to hit it perfectly is to anticipate when that light is going to go green. And that's when you go. Not when it's green, it's when you anticipate it going green. That's a challenge. That's definitely a challenge. But that's you. What about the car setup? Everything like that. How big of a tire do you use? Well, it depends what kind of a gear ratio you're using. Somebody has to figure it out. But that also depends on how much of a powerful engine you have in there, how big of an engine you have, and how much torque that's involved, and how much power, depending upon the car you have and the setup and the tires. That's all impactful. And it's very technical. Very technical. All right. Also, track compound. If there is track compound or no, how does that impact anything? Track compound, for those that don't know. If you watch any of the professional drag racing, the top fuel dragsters, the big cars, nitro burning funny cars, and the rest of that stuff, where you get to see the flames coming out and stuff like that, which none of that is happening out here. All the cars out here have got mufflers and things like that. But those cars are driving on a racetrack, a drag strip that's a quarter mile. This is an eighth quarter mile that's got the prep that's down there. So that when you take a look at the track and it's so beautifully black, one of the reasons why it's so beautifully black is that you're looking at this track compound stuff that's there, which makes the tires stick to the track. Yeah, I know you still see the burnout, but it makes the tires stick to the track. Because the whole idea of the burnout is to make sure the tires are clean, so you have as much traction and much rubber of the tire on the track, for one. Two, you don't have any stuff that's on the tires. You haven't noticed it. Next time you watch one of those videos, take a look at those guys that are out there. They're cleaning the tires because there's no pebbles and stuff like that, right? Because all that stuff is going to make the tires spin a little bit more. So those tires are beautifully clean. The track is beautifully clean, and the track has got this compound down of it. Well, if you have, and you apply too much power on a track without that track compound, your tires spin. Tires spin, car doesn't move. Tires don't spin, and then you apply the right amount of pressure, track compound or not. But if you can get the car going without the tires spinning and get it going as quickly as possibly can, it's better. Is it easier one way or the other? I think you have cars with more horsepower maybe on the track compound. Obviously, if it's a lesser horsepowered car on a track with track compound, it's probably easier to go without spinning the tires. So no, don't have any experience. This track has got no track compound. Out of Galveston, no track compound. So if you have a very high powered car and you hit that gas, tires spin, you're not moving anywhere near as quickly as somebody that's not spinning the tires. That's driving skill. Just like going through that turn on a road course, that takes driving skill. Steering and power on a drag strip, not so much steering, you're going straight, gotta keep that car straight. But it has to do with the finesse of that gas pedal, letting off the clutch, gas pedal all at the same time when the light is just about ready to go green, and then putting down the right amount of pressure based upon your engine side wheels and all the rest of that kind of stuff that goes along with it. Oh, and if it's a little humid, maybe the track is a little bit more slipperier, let a little bit more moisture in it, makes it a little bit easier for the tires to spin. Not a wet road, but moisture in the air. All that stuff impacts it. How do you know? How do you know to do that stuff? That's nuance. That's learning. That's skill. That's real driver skill. There's a lot that goes into getting that car moving, let alone getting to the fastest speed that you possibly can. 125-mile-an-hour speed limit on this track is 1/8 of a mile. But for most cars, it's getting the car going as fast as you possibly can in that 1/8 of a mile. So do you need a fast car? Do you need a quick car? It goes back to gear ratio. Which one are you using? A lot of these folks are setting up different gear ratios for this. They're putting on different tires for this. They have specialized cars for this. Many have got their regular street cars. You can see they all got the registration stickers, license plates. The street legal cars just have a special set of tires every once in a while for opportunities like this. Fascinating. It's not just straightforward. So who's learning from all of this? Who's benefiting from all of this? So many people. So many people. It's not just, hey, I get the chance to race my car here. It's all those people that are going to be inspired by that. It's all those things that are being learned by other people, such as you and I, about this kind of stuff. Will we ever use it? Perhaps not. I'm hoping that some of this will help me become a better announcer in that respect. But when that Oceanside High School shows up and the guidance counselor from one of the other high schools shows up, when some of the other school systems show up, Suffolk Community College, the automotive program is going to be there. Maybe some of their students show up. The high school students from Riverhead, when they show up and see the food truck, that's part of their effort. The little kids that show up They get the shirt that says Long Island needs a drag strip or Long Island got a drag strip. Maybe one day to say Long Island has a permanent drag strip. Right now it's still a temporary thing. Hopefully, Mr. Malone, Sagwa will make this thing become a permanent thing. And there's a few other folks that are behind this whole idea of making this thing a permanent thing. Finding out right location, they're working on it. Maybe it's here, maybe it's someplace else. Hopefully it's on the island someplace else, but maybe it's here. But who's going to learn from all that? Who's going to benefit? Students of all ages, in industries of all different types, anything from automotive to food service to event planning to marketing, right? Tickets still need to be sold. I mean, they have to be marketed. The PR side of it, media contacts, the media itself. Hey, you get some students that are interested in writing an article for the very first time. It's a great event to do it at. Right? It's a great event to do it at. Great visibility for everybody. It's good for the racetrack, not street, good for the school, good for the student, good for the whole learning experience. Let alone the driving side. Oh, did I mention the junior dragsters? 8-year-olds or as young as 8-year-olds driving these dragster cars, 15 miles an hour or so, maybe a little bit more, going down this track. Fascinating. What are they learning? And I put this out to some of the reporters today that are in that world of education. You know, what are they learning? How to drive a car? Yeah, okay, that's an obvious one. They're also learning about mechanics. They're learning about teamwork. They're learning about preparation, time management, and everything else that goes along with it. Remember, 8-year-old, 10, 12, 14, 15-year-old are driving these cars. They also go to school. So it's not like Tuesday and they're preparing all day for all throughout the week for the weekend. A lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. It's going to be a huge benefit for so many people. What I'm looking to do is to help bring this out to those so many people, all those different communities that have an interest in this thing, or may not even know they have an interest in it. The manufacturing industry, from the aerospace industry, construction industry, would they care about these things? Yeah, because those people that are building the racetrack, putting out those concrete barriers, affiliated with a company that is building roads. It's Monte Carlo paving. They're paving roads. They're using these things. Need people to operate trucks. Need people to understand how it works. Need to find people that have a genuine interest in it. Track compound, no track compound, street surface, how that whole thing works. You know what? That's that whole area. Maybe they're inspiring folks to take a look at that, as a career. So many ways. So many ways of doing it. So the racing begins August 20th. It's Saturday. If you want to get tickets, it's racetrack, not street. It's going to run from August all the way out until October. I think there's 1 or 2 weekends that not racing. One Friday night. Most of the others are going to be Saturdays, Sundays, not September 11th. Sundays are all going to be daytime. The fall series, when we get out to the end of September, October, all day stuff. And that's going to be Saturdays and Sundays during the day. Will I see you there? Yeah, absolutely. Will you hear me when you're there? I sure do hope so. And that's what I'm going to try to do, is speak well, to speak often, and live inspired. You should too, because you will inspire others to do exactly the same today. Have an incredible day. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you over the weekend.